Alright, what is up you guys? It is Cameron, and welcome to, I don't know the name of the series quite yet. It's, what music I've been listening to recently. I don't know the name of it yet. Hopefully you guys do, because it should be in the title. Hopefully I've come up with it by now. But I don't really know for sure. The kind of idea behind it is just what I've been listening to for the past month. And just kind of laying out their style and what each of these bands or artists usually produce, and just, you know, giving recommendations of music to you guys, because my channel is very music focused, and I think listening to music together is a good way to connect and, you know, just a way to bond together, really. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I'd like to start off by saying, anyone that doesn't know my channel or me yet, my music taste is very metal focused. Metalcore is definitely my favorite genre of music, but that doesn't mean that I don't like other music. I like pretty much any type of music at all. The only stuff that I don't really care for is like hip hop or mumble rap kind of stuff. Rap is still okay if it's done well and right. There's very little rap that I've heard that I actually do like, but it does exist. Hoodie Allen is probably my favorite rapper. His music I do like, and the lyrics are definitely my favorite of any rap I've heard. But that doesn't mean that there might not be something out there that I might like more. So if you're trying to get someone into rap, tell me suggestions and I'll listen to it. I just might not like it, because that's just the genre I don't like. But everything else I do like. I'll even listen to country and stuff. It's not my go-to at all, but it's music and I like music, so I'll listen to it. So I want to start off by giving my top two main focuses that I've been listening to recently. So number one has been Blessthefall. I've been listening to Blessthefall a ton recently. I had heard of them in the past, but I never listened to them whatsoever. But just recently, I listened to their newest album, Hard Feelings, and oh my goodness, that is definitely one of my top 5 albums I've ever heard in my life. That album is amazing and almost perfect. Like, every song on that album is basically perfect, with a few that are almost there. It's extremely good and definitely one of my favorite albums ever, so I highly recommend you check it out. Their other albums are very good as well, but Hard Feelings is definitely my favorite one that they've made. Hard Feelings and Hollow Bodies are my top 2 by Blessthefall, and they're a band that I definitely will constantly be listening to in the future. So I recommend that you do as well. Their style is very, it changes a lot depending on the album you listen to. Hard Feelings is definitely more, I don't want to say melodic, because that gives off the wrong impression. It's definitely more soft, melodic metalcore, I guess you could say. It has lots of electronic aspects to it, and it's definitely metalcore with melodic sounds going on, but not in the heavy way like you would think with like Arch Enemy or what's the one? Children of Doom. It's not really that kind of style at all. It's more of the emo side of metalcore almost, kind of like a Crown the Empire or Bring Me the Horizon type of melodic metalcore. But yeah, you really just kind of have to hear it to get their style. It's kind of unique. If I had to compare them to any band, I would say they're most similar to We Came as Romans, which is definitely one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time. They're probably like 3 or 4. So yeah, if you like We Came as Romans, check out Blessthefall, because they're real good. The second band I've been listening to a ton this month is Ice Nine Kills. I had never even heard of Ice Nine Kills before, and I was going through on Spotify listening to a custom generated playlist for me based off the music that I listened to, and the song called Communion of the Cursed came up, and I was blown away and loved it. I instantly added it to my list, which you can check out on Spotify, by the way. You can listen to my playlist, which I always am adding and changing music on. So if you're wanting even more music suggestions or wanting something to listen to, just head over to Spotify, look up the profile Cameron YT and it's there. I'll put a link in the description. Anyways, Ice Nine Kills is very horror inspired. All of their songs, at least I think, I've only been listening to them for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Almost all of their songs, I think, are off of a horror story. So you have songs like Communion of the Cursed, which is the first one I heard by them, which is based off The Exorcist. And there's Thank God It's Friday, which is, you know, Friday the 13th and Jason. So all their songs are off of a horror story or a movie or something like that. And the music videos are extremely well shot. Most of them have a backstory and afterstory in between the song, so you really have a actual video you are watching, not just the music video. There's more to it. There's a plot and everything, which is super awesome, and it's very well made. But just their music in general is extremely good. The style of it, I would say, is just almost flat out metalcore. They of course have a lot of the horror inspired sounds. You can definitely hear that a lot in the music, not only with the lyrics, but a lot of their tone and instrument choices are very, they give off the vibe a lot of the horror movie. So they're extremely well made, and they perform extremely well. And they're just great at writing music, so I definitely recommend checking them out if that sounds interesting to you at all. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely something that I love. So now that I've given off the 2 artists that I've listened to the most, like my 2 up-and-coming artists for this past month, I'd like to name off just some random smaller things that I've been listening to recently as well. For metalcore, I've been listening to a lot of We Came as Romans, which is one of my favorite bands, but I've been listening to them more and more recently. I've been listening to Wage War a whole bunch. Wage War is definitely my #1 favorite band of all time, so I'm pretty much always listening to them. But their song Low came out somewhat recently, so that kind of re-sparked me listening to all their music again. And another metalcore band I've been listening to a lot recently is Fit for a King. I found them about 6 or 5 months ago or so, and I kind of just listened to a couple songs here and there. I really liked them, but didn't really dive into it. But this past month I've been diving into Fit for a King a lot more. Their newest album, I forget what it's called, I'll put the name here, is extremely good. I love the new album a ton. The other ones aren't so much for me, but they are very good. They're just not really my style that I listen to a whole bunch, but they are a really good band, and I highly recommend checking them out if you have an interest in Blessthefall or We Came as Romans, because they're kind of that similar style, just a little bit heavier and not so much the 2 vocalists back and forth. But some of their songs do that as well. So check them out, let me know what you think. So on the not so metal side of things, since I do listen to other music, I'll just name off some of the other stuff I've been listening to. For electronic music, I've been listening to a lot of Tokyo Machine. I'm really big into Rocket League, and I think there's like 1 or 2 songs on there. But I dove more into the music that he's made outside of Rocket League, and it's actually extremely good. I highly recommend checking it out if you're into electronic music at all, no matter what kind of electronic music. Please check out Snail's House or Tokyo Machine, because those 2 are outstandingly good at what they do, and it just blows me away because they are so good at making their music. So something else I wanted to also do is mention off some of the Japanese artists that I've been listening to recently. I am quite the weeb or otaku, but it's slightly okay because I'm part Japanese, so I have a little like leeway of like, hey, it's fine. But anyways, not to get into it, some of the Japanese music I have been listening to recently is of course Miku Hatsune. How can you be a weeb or otaku and not listen to Miku? You have to. You just have to. Anyways, I've been listening to a lot of Miku Hatsune recently. I knew about her for quite a while, but didn't listen to the music. I then listened to a couple songs and I was like, yeah, it's interesting, but kind of weird. And then all of a sudden, I found myself diving way too deep into listening to Miku music, and now I listen to a lot of it. But it's really good. If you have any interest in Miku, please listen to some. You'll think it's weird, and it is, but then you'll find yourself being weird too. It's great. Yeah. Some of the other stuff I've been listening to is Dempagumi Inc., which is an idol group. They're pretty talented. They have quite the unique voices. Idol groups aren't really my thing all that much, but Dempagumi is a very good group, and their music is very upbeat and cheerful. So, I mean, I'm gonna listen to it because it's a blast of energy. Some other Japanese bands that you guys might like is Crossfaith. It's more on the metal side, of course. It's not so much the weebier and kawaii stuff, it's way more on the metal stuff. If you guys like baby metal, you should check out Crossfaith because they aren't quite as hilarious or kawaii at all. It's boys. Well, there is a girl bassist, but it's a real band, not so much like Dempagumi or baby metal. It's a band. So Crossfaith is pretty electronic metalcore. Actually, they have a lot of electronic stuff in their songs. So yeah, you got a good mix of the wubs and the metal going back and forth with Crossfaith. They're really good. I think they have a new album coming out soon, but I'm not positive, so don't quote me on that. I know they have a newer-ish song called Wipeout, but that came out like quite a few months ago, so it's not really new, but it's still really good. Anyways, check out Crossfaith. They're pretty awesome. So that'll pretty much do it for this month of February. Well, recapping February, I think this video is going up in like late February or March. Actually, most of my videos are recorded way ahead of time and released like a week later, but this video actually is being recorded very soon to when I'm going to be uploading this. It is currently February 22nd, Friday, and I'm planning on getting this video out on Monday. So this is actually one of the quickest I will have made a video and uploaded it, and it's because I was so busy this past week that I just couldn't get to making a full Monday video at any point. So I am deeply sorry for that, and I hope you forgive me. I'm trying my best. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys check out these songs. Let me know what you think. Give me some recommendations and I can check them out and let you know what I thought of them in next month's video. Whenever you want to listen to some music, head over to my Spotify profile. I have a ton of playlists of different types on there, so you can listen to anything you want to. With all that said, I hope you guys have a swell day.